Well, North Carolina went back to its longtime tradition and went red in this election.
And News 13's Victoria Dunkel is live with some of the local reaction to the outcome of this presidential race. Victoria, you know, this was unusual. We thought maybe we would stay in the blue column here in North Carolina.
Well, that's the case. That's true, but some of the polls were showing that Romney had a lead over President Obama going into the state as we were heading toward Election Day. But what I've been looking for here is what people are saying now that the votes are counted and the results are in. And here, we're at the Denny's here on Four Seasons Boulevard here in Hendersonville, and we're starting to see people come in. It's a little early for the breakfast crowd, but some of the folks who've been posting on our Facebook page have been sharing a blend. Still getting a few digs in on Romney from the Obama supporters, but also what I'm seeing on here is a lot of people calling for unity. Now that the fighting is over regarding the election itself and the campaigning, there is a lot of call for people trying to work together, get beyond the differences. Cindy Lou Ammons wrote, and she called it, here's a new concept. She said that let's work together and make America better. Another person just grateful that it's over. I'm going to keep following the posts on our Facebook page, and also going to be talking to folks as they come in and start their day and see what their reaction is as we're starting the new morning with a look at what the future holds. President Obama in office for 4 more years, and the state turning and going with its first Republican governor in decades. So that's what we're going to be following for you all morning long here at the Denny's in Hendersonville. Reporting live, Victoria Dunkel, News 13.
Well, this morning we are looking to get your reaction to the results of the presidential election.
And News 13's Victoria Dunkel is live at the Denny's in Hendersonville. And what are you hearing from folks this morning, Victoria?
Well, I've heard some people say that they predicted it. They knew this was going to happen from just watching the whole election and campaigning effort happen and play out. Others are saying they're disappointed. Some people are saying they're waking up to an unchanged country this morning. A lot of folks on Facebook, during the election, we saw some very distinct comments and statements regarding the candidates of choice along our page here. And now this morning, a lot of the same people who were very, very vocal about their support for one candidate over the other are now calling for unity. It's going to be interesting, though, because the unity issue will be whether or not President Obama will be able to get a lot accomplished on this one, because he's going back to a virtually unchanged Congress. The Senate remained Democratic control and the House remained Republican control. But again, a good number of the people, some of the folks who are most vocal about their support of one candidate over the other, are now reminding us that in the end we're all Americans and maybe we can find a common ground and get some progress made. So we're going to keep tracking this, and we're going to be watching as more folks show up for the early breakfast here and find out what your reaction is to the re-election of President Obama for 4 more years. Reporting live in Hendersonville, Victoria Dunkel, News 13.
As we've been talking this morning, 4 more years with President Obama, and News 13's Victoria Dunkel is streaming live from Denny's in Hendersonville. And Victoria, we're going to hear from what local folks are saying. What are you seeing out there this morning from folks in our area about their reaction to this race?
Well, you know, the overwhelming thing that I'm hearing from the few people who've been here so far this morning is that there's no real surprise in the results of this election. They kind of saw this one coming, if you will. Let's head over here because I'm going to catch up with Betsy and Pablo here. You two just finished up breakfast, and we were talking about the results of the election. You followed the race fairly closely. What's your take on the fact that President Obama is going to get 4 more years in office?
I mean, I know that both parties have promised a lot. You know, a lot of it's similar in every problem. I think every term for every president is similar, bigger or smaller. It's the same kind of thing, debt, war, and all that. But I mean, 4 more years for Obama. I mean, if he's promising something to change, you know, 4 years is kind of a short time, so there might be more.
So you're optimistic that another term will get to see more of those promises kept?
Well, I mean, I hope so, because I'm not for a party or against a party. I'm kind of just like, you know, for my future, for younger kids' future, see what happens, you know.
Now, Pablo, you were saying, though, your whole reaction to the election, the campaigning and everything, what is your thought on the fact that it played out this way?
I'm actually glad that it did, because being a Latino, Obama does, like from what I've been following, Obama does follow more on the Latino population, and that just made me go for him a little more. So I'm kind of glad that he is in the situation he is now.
So you're happy with the outcome?
Yes, I am.
And we're seeing results, people happy, people not so happy. Our Facebook page has shown a lot of both sides of that. But the one theme that did show up on some of the posts today is that it's time to put all of it behind us, and we all need to work together to hopefully see some progress. We'll be talking to more folks as they come out here this morning for breakfast here at Denny's and checking more of what you have to say on our Facebook page throughout the morning. Reporting live in Hendersonville, Victoria Dunkel, News 13.
Well, there certainly is a lot of mixed reaction to the results of the presidential election this morning.
News 13's Victoria Dunkel is streaming live from the Denny's in Hendersonville this morning. And Victoria, what are you hearing?
Well, you know, in our last half hour, I was talking to some folks here who are kind of optimistic. They hold out hope that maybe 4 more years could bring some change, and maybe President Obama needed that extra time to finish on the promises that he made in the first election. But this time, in the last half hour, I've met a few more folks who've been coming in here, and the optimism is not as strong. In one case, one person was talking about this person happens to be involved in small business in our community, and there's direct concern on their part as to whether or not their business will be even around for much longer, let alone in the next 4 years. On my Facebook, I posted and asking you to share some things. There are a lot of people who are saying they're concerned that the country will not be the same in 4 years. One person said he has nothing left to lose. But overall, we're seeing a good blend. People who were supporting the president are optimistic. Others who were more for Mitt Romney are definitely showing their concern. But we do see a couple of people here calling for unity and an effort to get some things done. They're hoping that even with the split Congress, President Obama is able to be a uniter in some way, and we see some progress that will benefit the country. That does remain to be seen, but keep your posts coming and your information coming. We definitely want to hear what you have to say on our Facebook page throughout the day. Reporting live in Hendersonville, Victoria Dunkel, News 13.